And then turn on my speakers. I didn't turn on my speakers. I'm a loser. Hello, everyone. It's Let's Talk EV almost every second Sunday. I went back to Sunday. I have to lock my chair here. A little live stream about what's happening on the channel and a few impressions on the car and stuff. What do I get? Safety warning, blah, blah. Go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. I'm cutting back on my phone use. This week I started doing that because it's just stupid. No Instagram, rarely Instagram, sometimes a bit if I post and if I get a reply, but no hours of, oh, what's happening? No, I'm stopping this. It sounds weird, 12 FPS. It does it automatically. I'm on, what do I get? No, 24? And 8 kilobits and no drop frames. So, but this is the camera. It happens sometimes. Let me turn it off and turn it back on. Sometimes it does it. Yeah, sometimes it does it, but it happens again then. I don't know, it's a software bug with the Sony A7S III. Yeah. Are you born in DDR? Just wondering. No, I'm always have been Bavarian. I'm living right now 20 kilometers away where I was born and 30 kilometers away where I lived as a kid till I was, I don't remember when I moved out. No idea. I was gone a few times. I was in Munich a while. I was in Regensburg a while. Then I was in Canada for 6 months. But no, I'm still here. Yes, last Monday, Polestar 4 was picked up. You're still getting videos because it's still 2 videos are missing. I filmed 9 videos or 8. I have to look. I think it was 9. Fridge, Polestar, 8. No, it was 8. Hello, new car week for me. That's nice. What did you get? So 8 videos in a week, which was stressful, but 3 were on one day. Yeah, but still 2 days off. And then on Friday, when I had my day off, I could pick up the BMW i5 M60. Yes, all-wheel drive, 600 horsepower. Because BMW doesn't bring me cars anymore. Skoda Elrock 85, cool. Yeah, Skoda doesn't give me cars. Just been in Regensburg, by the way, lovely shopping center at the train station. Love your channel, much love from the Netherlands. Thank you very much. Hello, what do you think about the Elrock? Never driven it. Skoda doesn't give me cars anymore. They say they have slimmed down their press department and the pool. They're not giving out cars to me. I said I take one over the weekend. I pick it up myself. No reply. So maybe it's not that. Maybe it's they want different coverage. So not the real stuff. Am I too high? I feel like I'm too high. I feel like the camera is too high. But now I see the floor. I nearly bought the ID3 Fire and Ice, but the boot was not quite big enough, so I had to settle for a grown-up choice. That's okay. You're a grown-up, so you have to make grown-up decisions. And that's good that way, that you learn you cannot just get the sports car 2-seater when you have a whole family and you want to go on holidays with the car. You can't have 2 cars at the same time. But then you can work on a goal that some point you get your convertible 2-seater sports car. Who knows? Yeah, the picking up the i5 was really interesting. So on Friday was a holiday in Germany, Tag der Deutschen Einheit, so where East and West got back together. And I got the BMW thing that I can pick it up on Friday a long time ago. And then I noticed, wait a minute, that's on a holiday. That's weird. So I asked him, the person who gave me this, all the info, how is this on a holiday and what time are they open and everything? And then I get the reply, this facility is open 24/7, 365 days a year. You can pick it up the car whenever you want and bring it back whenever you want. If you do it on a very unusual hour, it's very possible they have to wait a few minutes because people are doing the walk around if everything is safe. And I was okay. So I drove, it's in Garching. You get off the highway and a kilometer away from the highway is this thing. It's in nowhere's land, industry everywhere. And then I ringed and the door went up. I went there and then the guy said, "You can park here." He said it nice and then, "Okay, where can I park?" "Yeah, there thing." So Hank is parked inside the thing. It's fine. Where are we? Where's my Hank? Hank is parked somewhere in Garching. You can't see. And everything is still good so far. Poor Hank, all alone for 2 weeks. He won't be attached for 2 weeks. We'll see how much state of charge he loses. 47% was when I got, still 47. Nothing changed. But I had to give him the paperwork that I get the car, and then he's had to take a picture of my license and I have to sign a contract, and he took a picture of that. And then he led me in the back to the halls, and there were like 3 gigantic halls, very high. One room was a few motorcycles, one room was a few cars, I would say 4 or 5 cars. One room was empty, and the 4 or 5 cars were I think ice cars. And then a different room was an i5 M60 limousine, then a touring, then a Mini Cooper, and I think a normal i5. No i4, no iX3, iX1, iX2. And then he said, "This is the car, this is the key, buy." You just get, when you drive, you go to the whatever door, it will open automatically. You can drive out and that's it. And okay. And then I was alone in this weird room. And if you want to see what it looks like, on my 3rd channel, Behind the Battery, I made a vlog of me driving there and inside there and then driving home, because it's 1.5, a bit more, 90, 100 minutes to get there. Then it was 20 minutes with the car. I played around with the car a bit and then drove out, filmed a bit in there, like I said, and then drove it back home. And today I did the long distance trip test with the BMW, and I found out a few things. So there are great things in this car, and there are not great things in this car. For most of the people, I would think that what is not so great is not that important. But on the other hand, I think that's what it's made for. So it's the M60, 600 horsepower. It's, for me, that means it's like an M5. It's made for power, for speed. But the power, it's amazing power. So 600 horsepower is, oh my God. Very similar to Polestar 4 that I just had and the Audi S6 e-tron that I just had. And this is great. I will make a video where we'll compare those threes. The BMW has the smallest battery. It has the most power, but is still same acceleration, 3.8 seconds. All three have 3.8 seconds. And we have 400 kilowatt. This is 440, I think. And the Audi was, I think, 405 in launch mode. And it has launch control as well. I tried it once just to see if it's way easier than in the Audi. You don't have to press anything. You just stop, press the brake pedal full, accelerator pedal full, launch mode is active, and you get off the brake. No, I have to be in dynamic mode. ESC has to be off. Just dun, dun, and it goes. But it doesn't feel like you're very in control. It feels a bit like the front motor has a bit too much power and you feel torque steer a tiny bit, and it feels like you're driving a front wheel drive car. And the second part is, again, it should be the M5 electric, power and fast. When you go above 180, 190, not that great. I was a bit disappointed. The A6, I remember that A6 was not amazing at 200. The S6 was okay or good at 200, but then at 230 it fell a bit apart. This is here the same as the A6, even a bit worse, because it's not just the instable and everything. It feels like it's moving around a bit. Not as horrible as Tesla Model Y and Model 3, but still. And then it's when there's wind from the side, not even strong wind, just slight wind, it very affected by that. I noticed that. So Polestar 4 was better, way better at 200 kilometers an hour than this BMW. And this is very surprising for me, because I thought this is what BMW does. Audi does it already well, and the S version is exactly what it should be. And I thought BMW, the normal i5 will be okay, and the M60, because this is power, this is fast, come on, go. Yeah, not so great. But again, this is something that's not important for most of the people. But then you also shouldn't get the M60. Why would you get a 600 horsepower car if you can only drive 120 in your... if you're not in a country where you can drive that and where you can never accelerate, and then acceleration again, it's great acceleration, but it doesn't feel like you're in control. So when you pass a car somewhere, it feels like it's a bit like I said, front wheel drive. With all that said, hi to all. And what it is really amazing is the suspension is very, very nice, very comfortable. You can still drive in corners. I think it's a bit better than the S6 and the Polestar 4, except for high speeds, like I said. Then noise level, awesome. Polestar 4 is still the best. Polestar 4 at high speed was even very quiet. Then this, and then the S6 and the A6, I would say. Software, I'm okay with the software. I found out today in the navigation system, you cannot navigate to somewhere where you press on the screen. So if you zoom into a street somewhere and you just press the street, you cannot navigate to this. It has to be a house or a location, something on the map that has an address or is a charger or I don't know, a parking, gas station. This you can press and navigate to, but not a road. So I used a better route planner today for navigation. Charging, I charged 3 times today because it was cold and it was raining. So it couldn't do with just 2 charges, but this is something that will come up in the next few months still, since we're getting colder. It's 8 degrees now outside, and today it was half of the time raining very strongly. The beginning consumption was enormous, over 320 watt-hours per kilometer, but then at the end it went down to 280 or something, which for this weather today was okay, I think. The charging, I always got 200 kilowatt, even on at the first charger. Yeah, winter sucks balls. Even at the first charger where I arrived with 26%, I got 200 kilowatt. But at 60% or so, you're already at 100 kilowatt. So I had to charge twice to 70%, and 60 to 70%. Then with charging with 100 kilowatt takes a bit. This is where the Polestar could be on the same level, and the Audi is just way better with 270, 280 kilowatt, 800 volt system. And this is where the Neue Klasse, so iX3 is being built right now, comes to the people, customers, and then dealers, and hopefully press cars. Hopefully I can drive it soon. hopefully at the end of the year, beginning of next year. And then the next cars will come. The 5 Series will come as a Neue Klasse, but first the 3 Series. But it will be a while till the 5 Series come out. First the iX3, then the normal 3 Series, and then we'll see what comes next, whatever BMW decides. But then it's 800 volt system, way more efficient motors and stuff like this. Agreed, in 3 months we will be seeing -30. Yuck, ugh. Yeah, winter sucks. I had a dream the other day. It was an amazing dream. Cindy and I won the lottery. And we bought a house in South Italy somewhere, totally alone somewhere. Not gigantic. I don't need a big house, just a normal house, but a bit on a coast, not really on the beach, but a bit higher. And so we're there in the winter, and then in the summer we had a house, the same, quiet, everything, in the mountains, in the Austrian Alps or something. That was a nice dream. Let's do that for everyone. Let's get all out of the city and do this. That would be way more amazing. Yeah, but why did you wake up? What did I wake up? Oh yeah, why did I wake up? That's true. I should have kept sleeping. This is where sometimes the idea of the Matrix, if this would be real, would be really amazing. Or Total Recall, where they implant the memory. But the memory is then something that was already happening. So Matrix, if they just give you something that you would like and that would you would enjoy, that just sounds nice. Oh. Come, our AI computer friends. Yes, yeah. No, but software of the i5 is okay. You cannot see that much on the home screen, but there's a lot of things you can configure, a lot of favorites when you scroll down. You can preheat the battery with a button. Polestar 4 and S6 didn't have that. So I used the Better Route Planner to navigate today and plan the whole route. And it was spot on, by the way. Good for a Better Route Planner. So with the state of charge, I arrived, if I drove the 140 like I told a Better Route Planner, I arrived with that state of charge. If I drove faster, of course it was lower. And if I drive slower, then it was more state of charge. But because of that, of course, the automatic preheating of the battery doesn't work. But I started the preheating at some point. It heated up for 15 minutes. And then it always said perfect temperature for DC fast charging for the whole trip after the first preheat. Because the consumption was so high that the battery stayed at a good temperature. It wasn't that cold. It was 8 to 10 degrees today. But still, that's freezing. And rain. And what else did I see that was interesting? I just thought of it. Navigated with a Better Route Planner, 140, preheated the battery. Yeah. By the way, so the i5 has this Assist Plus system. So you have normal cruise control, then you have steering assist, and then you have Assist Plus, where you don't have to hold the steering wheel. But this only goes up to 135 kilometers an hour. So if you drive up to 135 on the highway, you don't, and Assist Plus says is activated, you don't have to touch the steering wheel. It just drives, and you can have your hands like this. And I did it not today because I was driving 140 today, because this was faster. And today the test was not about the cruise control, it was about getting as fast as possible, drive 600 kilometers with this car. But on the way home from when I picked it up, I did this for a very long time, only when it loses, let's say there are no lines on the highway because they repaired something, or you're not looking at the road for a while, because when you do this, it has 3 cameras in front or sensors to track your eyes. And if you look with your eyes to the right like this, it's fine. But if you move your head, it will say, please pay attention to the road. Do you ever review test the long wheelbase ID bus? No, but I will get one December. When did I get in? I have to check. December 2nd. For 2 weeks. I will get one. i5 is still charging, by the way. 74%. Come on. There it is. Only 237 kilometers of range at 74%. So I drove today. It would have been 280 kilometers to get to the first charger, and a better route planner says with 140, even at 100% at home, you won't make that. You have to charge in between, and I charged in between from 24 to 47%, and then I arrived at the second charger, which is usually my first charger in the summer. Even with Hank, with every other big battery car, Polestar 4 even, but it was warmer then and not raining, and it was, I arrived then with 9% or 10%, something like this. I drove the long wheelbase bus GTX this summer. I actually liked it less than the non-GTX. That's okay. I get also the just rear wheel drive, so the most efficient with the, not most efficient, with the most range, because Matthias, who you've seen on my channel many times for other videos, but not in a while, he's getting the GTX version, and then I want to do a comparison with these two cars. He's getting it in October, I think. October or November, very soon. Yes, and so this self-steering thing is awesome, and when you navigate to somewhere, you can also do lane changes just with your eyes, but and I've seen that you don't have to navigate with the internal navigation. Even when you navigate with Google Maps or a better route planner, it knows you're navigating to somewhere, and it even shows in the main screen when you get out of Android Auto, the map of Android of a better route planner, which is very cool. Do I have this on video? Because it looks really good. I don't know why that is, and if how you turn it on or off, but it's looked awesome. Where are we? What camera do I need? I think this one. That's a Polestar. I'm in the wrong. Yeah, that's the wrong thing. There it is. Let's go over here and do it at the full screen, and this in small and news. So BMW i5, these are the cameras that look at you. So here I'm in the home screen. I'm not in Android Auto because I have the consumption here, and I can scroll down to see the battery preheating and stuff like this. And here is a better route planner from Android Auto displayed here in the main screen. Again, I have no idea how that happened, because at some point it was gone. The long wheel just feels less maneuverable, even though the difference is only 25 centimeters. Not the long, you mean long wheelbase and short wheelbase. I have driven the short wheelbase. I have not driven the long wheelbase yet. We'll see. But this was cool. And then when you have navigation on and you're driving like this, and then it tells you, even when you drive 140, it tells you the same thing. If someone in front of you is driving slower and the left lane is free, it will check all the sensors and cameras. Is there any car? And if it's not, it says you can go to the left, then you would be faster, and you look in the left mirror and it will go to the left, and it does the lane changes very, very well. The best lane change assist I have ever seen. Even in a corner with 140, it does it very smooth, and it steers in a way. When you are in the left corner or in the right corner, or you're going straight, you have to steer in a different way. And other cars usually steer almost the same way, and then it's not very comfortable. i5 did it amazingly well, even at high speeds and in a corner. That was very, very great. And when you then drive by very, very fast, when you're passing the other car, not 100 meters away, or when your blind spot warning says the car is gone, it already tells you, hey, look in the arrow mirror, and then I will go back to the right lane. And you do that, but then of course it waits till it has no blind spot warning, and then it goes over. That is done really, really well. I have to say that. On the last leg, so I was charging in Wernberg-Köblitz as always. On the last leg back, then the last 170 kilometer, for whatever reason, it didn't let me use steering assist anymore. The cruise control still worked. The other thing said limited and it didn't work. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. Maybe I did something weird and looked in the wrong direction too many times. No idea, but it didn't work anymore. But the steering assist is good. It's not perfect. It has a few things where it's still looking, but overall it's good. Cruise control is really good. It slows you down early on the highway, but it's okay. And when you use it, it tells you to get to the next lane very, very early, that it doesn't have to slow you down. And even when it slows you down and then you do the lane change with the eyes, it already speeds up when it goes to the left lane. So it's not doing left lane, speed up. You can see there's good distance and then it already speeds up. Does it really well. I'm very impressed by that. What was the consumption when I came home? Let's look. Let's look. There is the guy. It was 282. I regenerated 19.6 kilowatt hours. But this, of course, is included in this. This is not new. Oh, you didn't see. You didn't see anything. What am I doing? There we go. Consumption, regenerated energy, kilometers, and it's 593, so it's a bit over-reporting. It's been a while since I had a car that's not under-reporting, that it's over-reporting, so the consumption is actually higher. That has been not... Am I right? I think so. Yeah. That hasn't been done in a while. That is very, very interesting. What else? Ionity, Altdorf, where I was today, was one car and it left after a minute, 8 charges. 6 200 kilowatt, 2 350 kilowatt. On a second charger, Himmelkron, they have 12 or so. There were a few cars, but a lot of chargers available. And then in Wernberg-Köblitz, there were 6 chargers. One was broken and it was busy. I got the one which was broken. I didn't know, tried a few times, but another one was free. I drove to that and then this worked. And this was, I think this is the first time where a charger at Ionity says it's working and then you try to charge and then it doesn't work. So it has normal screen. I plugged in the card or the other way around and it didn't charge. There was an error message in the car. I came back out, tried it again, and then it started that it showed out of order, a little thing, but then it came back. And then I was like, is it now out of order or not? And then also the light went to red and went back, red, and then, aha, you're not working. And then other people came and tried it, and they also didn't work. Then it was really out of order the whole time. I haven't seen that before. It's the first time. And there was busy. But in Wernberg-Köblitz, there's so many chargers. I said it in the other day with the Polestar 4. There are 6 charging stalls from Mercedes, 8 from Shell, 6 from Ionity, 10 from BMW, and 10 from Tesla. So you can really charge, so no problem. But for me, Ionity is the cheapest, and Ionity is always the busiest. Everyone wants to... At Mercedes, there's no one. At Shell, there's no one. Tesla are a few, BMW are a few, and Ionity is always full. Always. That's the bad thing. In Himmelkron, there's, like I said, 12 Ionity chargers, and then 6 or 8 Allego. Those Allegos, there are a few, and the Ionities, because there's so many, it works. So the Ionity in Wernberg-Köblitz, they really have to make that bigger, so more charging stalls. They had 4 in the beginning, expanded to 6. and it still needs the other two. There's still two things that they should. I don't know if they have to could put some more in. I don't even know. I don't know. Yeah, but I'm Ionity charger because I have to pass. I pay 12 euros a month, and then I can charge for 39 cents instead of 50, I think. And I just charge at Ionity all the time. Every range test, 3 times. Every long distance trip, 2 to 3 times. And so every week, 2 to 3 times I charge at Ionity. And when I do a long distance trip, the same. And I have to go somewhere. So when I pick up Hank into Friday in a week, I have to charge on the way home. I didn't have to charge if I would have driven slow. So if I would have driven 130 to get to Munich, I would have arrived with 55% and then back home with 10% would be fine. But I wanted to get there fast. I drove 150. That's why I arrived with 47%. There needs to be a price competition on those places. It would be amazing if, and it's so busy that Mercedes says charge here and it costs 39 cents as well. I mean, Ionity has that pass what you can do, and CityWatt has it without paying something. Yeah. But there was a good drive today. How long did it take? I don't even know. When did I start? I took a picture at 8:14. When did I arrive? 13:52. What is that? 5 hours 40 minutes. But I deduct 2 minutes from the charger that didn't work. That is long. 5 hours 30 minutes then? 5 hours 35, something like this, for 593 kilometers. But again, and traffic was okay. It wasn't that, it was the weather and therefore high consumption, and that I had to charge 3 times because I couldn't get to the first charger, which is 280 kilometers away. If today, as with all of my long distance trips tests, if I could charge everywhere and it would cost the same thing, then I would be faster. But who has that? Who has all the cards? I guess maybe only the go for work. So for a company, they go around, they can charge wherever they want. They don't care. They just put the card and work is paying. But everyone else has BMW or Tesla or this, Aral Pulse, I don't know, that they can charge a bit cheaper if they do that a lot. If they don't do it a lot, then once a year or whatever they do the long distance travel, they just pay the price. And I do it a lot, 39 cents instead of 50 or 70 if I don't have anything. It's just a lot. And today, what was it today? I paid for those 3 charging sessions. I had it here. Go away from me. 7 euros, 17 euros and 20 euros. That is 44 euros for charging today. So I spent 44 euros, and the video that I will put out will not make 44 euros. I can tell you that. I doubt that. Maybe 10, 15, and then the German one the same, 10, 15. So I will make minus, but that's how it is. Sometimes I make a video at home that doesn't cost a cent and a lot of people are watching, and then the other time I film something that costs me a lot, and because of charging, parking, or I don't know what, and it doesn't make the money. That's how it is, and I'm okay with it. As long as at the end of the month it's still fine, so I don't spend more than I make. That would be horrible. That would be really horrible. Is there anything else? If not, I'm gonna call it a day. I drove from, like you saw, 8 till 2, a bit over 6 hours, and then we did this. So I want to lay on the couch, drink a bit of water. I would love a coffee right now, But I do intermediate fasting as always. It's just good for me. I know this. And but a coffee would be nice, decaf, because otherwise I can't sleep. But you can leave at 100 likes. Oh, that would be a long time if when only 26 people are here. Yeah, the live streams are. I must be so freaking boring. Nobody is here. But again, I'm not talking about, hey, ID2, ID Polo is coming next week. Then a lot of people are here. But it's just normal stuff that we talk about. And aren't those costs Betriebsausgaben, so you can get something back with taxes? Of course, but not everything. It's just deducted from what I earn, but it's not for free. So if I earn 40 euros and I spend 40 euros, that means I don't have to pay taxes. It's zero, and I get the VAT exactly back, but that's it. So I still spend something. So my bank account at the end still says zero. A video also attracts new subs. Of course. That's why I do it. Like I said, it's not like I every time. There are all limits. So somebody told me in the Netherlands, hey, I have a friend who has a Mercedes EQE. Do you want to drive it? And it was 800 kilometers to get there. So I have to take Hank or Prescott drive 800 kilometers, which will cost me 100 and something euros for charging. Hank will get more kilometers to test the car for a day and then drive the same thing back. That's a bit too much for a video or two. Thanks for the reviews. I really enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. John! Is this your name, John? And then Wombacher? Wombacher sounds very German. And John doesn't. Okay, I'm gonna leave you be. You all take care. Next week I'm gonna do the range test with the i5. I changed it. Usually do the range test and charging tests before, and then long distance test the next Sunday. But today it was raining, and when it's raining so bad, the range test is hard to film because I film a lot outside, and then also the range is not correct. I mean, when it rains again next week, there's nothing I can do about it. But so far, the weather says next Sunday should be at least sunny or not raining. Cold, but not raining. So we'll see how that is. Okay, I'm gonna leave you. You all take care. Maybe see you next week. Oh, bathrobe edition. Didn't do that.